So we are now going to talk about the Crown Jewel event that just got done watching. So this was these Saudi Arabia events are always a little extra. They are and this one was no different. But just to keep this brief, go through real quick the women's tag team championship match. Damage Control defeating Alexa Bliss and Asuka to regain the tag team titles. The story here really isn't the titles or the match, at least not for me. The story was these little hints that Bray Wyatt, that something's gonna go on with Bray Wyatt and Alexa. So I don't know what's going to happen there. They did have Bray Wyatt come out and it's just there's this whole thing. It was this whole in-depth promo, and I'm sure there are people who absolutely loved it. I'll be honest, I was bored. Okay, yeah, you're a fucking psycho. You're crazy. You got like 6 different personalities. It's honestly, it's really not that interesting anymore. It's been done and done and done. It was done by Mick Foley. It was done by Terry Funk, and this is your second or third time doing it. I'm kind of over it, and I just kind of am. The Usos versus the Brawling Brutes match was a fun little match. Ridge Holland, I had yet to realize just how good Ridge actually is. Very familiar with Pete Dunne's work, big fan of Pete Dunne's work, and obviously, the Usos have been around forever and their work's well known. But, I was actually really impressed with Ridge. He surprised me with his abilities. And, the Usos retain the titles. I don't know why we are keeping... I don't understand the point of having separate tag titles for Raw and for SmackDown if you're just going to have them sit on the same team. It feels redundant. I don't know what the end game is there. I simply don't know. So, OC versus Judgment Day. I know that the Judgment Day won the match. I can't really talk about what happened in the match because I fell asleep. My bad. To be fair, if it was a good match, I wouldn't have fallen asleep. I don't know. I might have been asleep before the match. I don't know. I woke up for the end of the Strowman versus Omos match, so I actually don't even know what happened in the body of that. I do know that Strowman won. So there's that. McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. We saw McIntyre win, which I really thought that they were going to give that to Karrion Kross. I really don't feel as if McIntyre needed the win, whereas setting Karrion up to be this unstoppable force might have proven to be an interesting storyline. But, potato, it's not what they did. Lesnar versus Lashley. I have a feeling we're going to get another one of these. So Lashley, came in like a house fire, and he just wanted to tear Brock apart, and he was doing a pretty good job of it. And Brock managed to get Lashley in a pinning position and get the win, despite the fact that he was on the losing end of the fight. If you want to look at it that way, he was definitely in a precarious position and managed to get a quick pin out of the deal. And then Lashley proceeded to just brutalize him after the match. So I doubt it's the last time that we're going to see those two lock up. The last woman standing match between Belair and Bayley was a lot more enjoyable than I was expecting it to be, honestly. I was kind of thinking that Bayley would win this match, but that is not what happened. I do kind of think it's funny that in a country where women have just been allowed to been granted the privilege of driving, they decided to have a women's wrestling match in which the women drive a golf cart in a not safe fashion. I got a chuckle out of this because I'm not sure if it's brilliant or tone deaf. I actually honestly cannot tell which. I just simply don't know. Bayley did lose this match because, I mean, frankly, I know there's no rules, but frankly, Belair kind of cheated. It was kind of cheap, trapping her in the ladder underneath the turnbuckle and whatnot. You know, I mean, you say, oh, it was smart. It was smart. You know, sure. It also shows that you can't actually beat the person badly enough to keep them down for 10. So, again, probably not the last time we're going to see these two go at it either. And then there was the big match, the match that shouldn't have existed at all. So, the Universal Champion Roman Reigns against Logan Paul. Now, my general I don't want to say dislike, because it's not so much a dislike as much as it is you annoy the shit out of me. Or, you know, where Logan Paul is concerned, like, I've been half-assed aware of him for a long time. My wife used to watch videos of him screaming like an idiot and smashing plates like a fucking moron. So I've not actually had all that high of an opinion of him. And then you've got the controversy with his fights and his opponents having to sign contracts that state that they will not knock him out and all that bullshit. Both the Paul brothers are snake oil salesmen as far as I'm concerned. All that aside, Logan is a good athlete, and Logan came in and he, did a match where he teamed with The Miz, and he did a match against The Miz, and he did a good job. He's definitely, for somebody who's just starting out, definitely, very good. You can tell he's working very hard. That being said, you do not walk into a company and in your third match be challenging for the title. That's some dumb shit. That is some Vince McMahon shit, and I don't know what the hell Triple H is thinking, because that is some Vince McMahon, oh, it's good shit, pal level bullshit right there, and I can't wrap my head around why on earth that would be fucking happening. All I kept hearing about was he's got 30 million followers. Yes, but are the people following Logan Paul? You really want to clamor for that audience? The morons that like to watch idiots fucking yell and smash plates? I don't know. But in either case, they did a story essentially where Logan didn't take, Roman didn't take Logan seriously enough in the beginning, and Logan got in, a bunch of shots and whatnot, and then, Roman had to start taking Logan seriously at the end. It's a good little story, and it fits for the situation. Personally, I feel like Roman gave Logan way too much, but, also there's this whole thing of, they're in Saudi Arabia. They really seem to like Logan, which I'm not sure I'm not sure who that says more about, Logan himself or the people of Saudi Arabia. I have no fucking idea. All I know is this match was difficult to watch. It was difficult to get through, and I'm glad it's over. And I seriously hope they keep Logan Paul very, very far away from the World Championship picture. Again, the work the guy has done. He's good. He's not as fluid as some of the people who've been doing it forever, but you can clearly see that he's been working very hard. That being said, the world title picture is not the place for him right now. You know, I mean, that's my opinion. In my opinion, you know, my opinion in $1 will get you a cup of coffee. But it just, I'm not seeing where it makes sense. It feels like pandering on the part of WWE. It feels cheap and it feels dirty. And I can only imagine how the guys who have been in the company for years upon years, you know, grinding feel watching this fucking doofus walk in and waltz his happy ass right into the title picture. Just don't think it's right. But Roman did win the match, so that's good. At least they didn't put the belt on him. That would be like some WCW David Arquette level dumb shit. So thankfully they didn't do that. So that being said, I did not put together a rating for the show. I enjoyed the show. I usually enjoy the shows. Well, I enjoyed the parts of the show that I watched. Admittedly, I did miss those couple of matches. But in either case, the main event is usually what you're there to watch anyways. So, and in this case, I watched the main event kind of hoping that somebody would smack Logan for real and like he, you know, involuntarily breakdance in the middle of the ring, you know, have a little spasm. But alas, I'm sure he's just fine. Roman took good care of him. He didn't hurt him, which is, you know, good for Roman being the professional. Being said, I really do hope we keep Logan away from the world title picture. I'm still banking on them bringing in The Rock and them doing Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. The question becomes whether or not that needs to be for the title. I would say it doesn't need to be for the title, but at the same time, if you take the titles off of Roman on the way to WrestleMania, you take some of that shine off of him, you know, before putting him in the ring with Rock. So, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. But they are obviously wanting to build towards Rock and Roman, though. So hopefully they're going to be able to get that done. Because, you know, the build's been good. Also, where is there? I'm wondering, is there a reason Sami Zayn wasn't at the show? He's the only member of the Bloodline that wasn't there. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen Sami Zayn at one of the shows in Saudi Arabia. Anyways, here's hoping that they can actually lock in that main event for Rock and Roman at Mania. I don't know. But the WWE managed to do something I never thought was going to be possible. They managed to get me to root for Roman Reigns. Right now, the devil's wearing a sweater.